Hi, I'm Brandon Coburn. Welcome back to the Liberty Club Sports Wrap-Up. Well, it was another weekend of heart-stopping action here at Club Sports, so let's take a look at how our guys did. The number 10 ranked Division I men's hockey team took on the defending national champions and number 2 ranked Arizona State Sun Devils and then number 17 ranked Arizona Wildcats. The Flames were in a fast-paced game against the Sun Devils of ASU. The Flames would come out firing as they would take a 2-0 lead after the first. But the Flames weren't able to keep that lead as the Sun Devils would spark a 4-1 run in that second period, which would fuel them to a 6-4 victory over the Flames. The very next day, the Flames would face the Wildcats of Arizona. The Flames were able to score the opening goal in the opening minute of the game, which led them to a 1-0 lead after the first. The Flames were able to ride that momentum as they were able to score 3 more goals the next period and hold on to a 4-3 win in game number 1. In game number 2, it was much of the same story. Flames take an early lead after 1, but the Wildcats would eventually tie up the match and take a 3-2 lead late in the third period. With time running out, the Liberty Flames were able to find the back of the net in the last minute to take the game to overtime. In overtime, the Flames were able to score midway through the period to take Game 2 by a score of 4-3 over the Wildcats. The Flames now move to 10-2-4 on the year and will next head back out on the road to face off against number 21 ranked, the Mountaineers of West Virginia. The Women's Division I hockey team took on number 9 ranked Lady Eagles of Robert Morris, Illinois. The Flames were able to get on the board first, but the Eagles would respond, tying the game at 1-1 going into the third. But the ladies would be able to spark an offensive prowl as they put up 3 goals in the period, helping them to a 4-2 victory in game number 1. The very next day, the Flames would continue that momentum, as well as tightening up their defensive aspect to cruise to a 5-0 win. The ladies, now 12-0-1, have outscored their competition by a whopping 69-9. The ladies will next be at home this coming weekend as they take on the Bulls from the University of Buffalo. The Division II men's hockey team headed down south as they were going to take on the national runner-up Florida Gulf Coast. In game number 1, the Flames were able to trade goals in the first period, making it 1-1 after the first. The Flames would then explode in the second with 2 goals in the period. However, the Eagles, they would mount a comeback and they'd score 2 goals of their own. Once again, it's tied 3-3 going into the third. The Eagles would then take command of the game as they would score 5 goals in the third period to lead them to an 8-5 victory over the Flames. The very next night would prove to be much of the same as the Eagles would soar to a 6-3 victory and knocking off Liberty Flames in a 2-game set. The Flames now move to 11-5 and will next play against Rider and Pittsburgh University on November 14th and 15th. The Men's Division III team took on their arch-rival JMU and UNC Wilmington here at home this past weekend. The Flames were able to face off against the rival JMU in game number 1. The Flames were looking for a payback over the Dukes as they were defeated by them previously a couple of weeks ago. The Flames were able to get just that as they would cruise to a 4-2 victory and defeat the Dukes the first time in 3 games. The very next day, the Flames would face the Seahawks of UNC Wilmington. The Flames and Seahawks would be in a tight defensive battle through the first 2 periods as both high-powered offenses were tied 2-2 going into the third. With the Seahawks catching a couple of breaks, they took a 4-2 lead in that period and would never look back. They took the game over the Liberty Flames by a score of 4-3. The Flames will next be on the road as they take on Christopher Newport and George Mason University this coming weekend. The Division II women's hockey team took on the Lady Blue Hens in a 2-game matchup here at home. The ladies would fall to the Hens in both games, losing by a score of 3-0 and 4-0. The Lady Flames will next look to rebound this coming weekend as they face the Terrapins from the University of Maryland here at home. Liberty Equestrian recently headed to High Point for a hunt seat show. The Flames would compete well, as 4 members of the team would ride all the way to first place to pave the team to finish 4th at the show. The Flames would have a total of 12 riders in place in their respective competitions, highlighted by Courtney Kearns being named Reserve High Point Rider of the Show. The team will next head to North Carolina State, as this time the Western team will be in competition this weekend. Teams also in competition this weekend will be the Ultimate Frisbee team as they compete in a tournament at Appalachian State. The crew team will also travel to Chattanooga, Tennessee for the Head of the Hooch Regatta. The men's volleyball team will be at King's College in Bristol, Tennessee for a tournament. And the wrestling team will begin their season with the Messiah Invitational at Gratham, Pennsylvania. For more information on Liberty Club Sports, make sure you visit us on our website, like us on Facebook and Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. For Liberty Club Sports, I'm Brandon Coburn.